say, I raised the bug, full of nervous energy. Let's hope for the best. Excuse me for a minute, but I wanted to say next week's video will be from Lakeland, Florida. I'm going to the Lakeland, Florida Classic VW weekend there. I'm going down to visit family, and they live near Lakeland, and it just happens to be that weekend. So I figured my next video I'll be shooting at the Volkswagen Classic. I hope it's something that you will enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to check out the swap meet and everything that there is to offer. So stay tuned for next week's video. It's going to be from the Classic. Hope you enjoy. Back to the scheduled program. A little scary, I have to admit. Okay, for that part, now we're going to hook back up to the 2x4 and lift it up from the center. We want a nice even lift. That'll do. But I get to get the chassis underneath here and then marry them up again for the last time. What a great feeling. Well, we're in the process. Can't show you everything as I go because I got the unknown assistant with me and they don't want to be on the channel. No problem. Okay, it's very close. I just lost my assistant again, but I'm so nervous excitement that I almost forgot to put the seal on the body pan. So I have to do that now, and then I'll set it down. I've seen various ways of attaching the seal. I'm gonna try liquid nail. Hope that works. Well, the liquid nail seems to be working. I have it all taped down. The rubber seal's in. I'll give it a couple hours and I'll come back, and I plan on drilling out the holes. That's my plan. If not, I'm thinking about putting a soldering gun in them and melting them open. I've seen it done many ways. This is the way I'm going to try. Well, I'm very happy with the way it's coming together. It's a shame you can't see the underneath how pretty it is, but it's just as pretty as that chassis. Bolting the pan back to the body. Great feeling. I wanted to show you. I use this bolts. I cut the heads off them. I get longer ones. I cut the heads off them. I tapered them, you know, like quick on a grinder. And then I cut a slot in them for a screwdriver head. And I use them on both sides when I'm setting the body down to align it. It makes it easier for one person. And works out fine. I'll show you what I mean in a picture. I'll add it in. These are the bolts I use, 2 on each side to secure the body, to line up the body to the frame. In my haste to put the body back on the frame, I forgot to patch that one little patch back there, which is still possible to get at from behind. Patch is in, it's all cleaned up. I osmoed it. Now I'm getting ready to put a little primer on there. Well, I wish I didn't forget to put that one patch in and clean that little bit of surface rust up. But you know what they say, better late than never. But it would have been a lot easier to do when it was off the frame. But I got her done. Well, next up, I'm going to start cleaning the undercoating out of the wheel wells. I'm going to start with the driver's side front today. See how far I get. I think we could consider that a pretty good job. Next, I'll wipe it down with acetone when the Osmo has set for a while. Then I'm going to primer that and move on to the next wheel well. Looks pretty clean. Here's the next one, driver's side rear. I won't show you all the wire brushing and stuff. I'll just show you when I'm done with it. This driver back wheel well looked like it just came out of the factory within weeks. Cleaned up real easy. All right, Osmo's on there doing its thing. Half hour or so, I'm going to primer the wheel wells. Looks good, cleaned up and primered. All 4 wheel wells. Feels great. We're getting there. I'm just popping this channel off with a screwdriver. I get in behind it, pop this wells. They're only little spot welds, they come out easy. The reason I'm doing this is because I've realized and found out there's a new seal called Mexican seal that they put on their later cars, and it attaches to the hood very easy. It slips on, it like kind of clips on. And this I want to remove because it's a rust problem. You know, like dirt and dust get underneath there and it gets wet, and then the next thing you know, you got some pretty bad rust coming. And I feel it's much better, and I've listened to a couple other videos that said that they have changed over to the Mexican seal. This is the rust I'm talking about. You know, that's why I feel it's better to remove that and go with the Mexican seal. Be a lot cleaner, and it'll stop the rust forming underneath that channel. After cleaning it up with the grinder, this is what it looks like. They're just little tiny spot welds I just hit with the sanding disc on the grinder. Sorry to say, yesterday I put the strut in. It was all together, but I didn't film it, and now I'm sorry I didn't. But I'll explain what I did. First thing I did was put the bottom together. You have to make sure that you put the orientation for the brake line and for the speedometer is located in the right position. And on the right side is most important. But what I did was I connected the base, and then I stood down here and pressed down until it was able to go underneath the strut tower, and that did the trick. Then, of course, I put the bolts back on, but not permanently, just to hold them for now. Okay, today we're putting the steering box in. Goes right there on this side of the strut. And cleaning up that area, we're going to ospo it up a little. And then we'll come back in 45 minutes, wipe it down, and encapsulate that area where we're working. Setting up. We got the bolts, we got the gearbox, the steering box, and we got the 7mm on a 1/2-inch drive to tighten it down. Cleaned up, ready for some POR 15. Osmode, brushed, and PRO 15. You don't want that rust hiding underneath there. And see, the spot welds are very small. They come out of there very easy. And it breaks free with the screwdriver. Just get it behind it and push it out. And they snap off. Wow. We're done with the trunk area. Except for welding in the new channels. And eventually I'm going to wire the back end. Put the sound deadening in. And put the motor back in. Then I'll be starting to do the body work. And once that's done, it's off to Maryland to my son's house. Had to weld new tabs on both sides for the brake line keeper. A little hard to do one-handed, but one step closer to getting them brakes in. Still have to put the solid line from the end of the rubber hose into the brake cylinder, which is brand new. Passenger side, welded into tubes for the heating system to open up the vents under the back seat.